Hi, this is Feehan again from the ECG Armory. This morning we're going to be working on a few more finishing up items, including doing the split rivets on the abdomen and the back plate. The split rivet here that's going to go from the cod piece to the back, and just a few other items, including maybe doing some posts for the helmet for the lenses. That I want to get that done before I get started with the painting and some other finishing items. I've also decided I am going to go ahead and do the extra snap plates in the bells and the biceps so that I can use separate straps. I figure it'll be better to have 3-inch straps throughout the entire armor, except in a couple of odd places, like on the cod piece here and on the strap that goes across the bell. So I'm going to construct that today, and a few other straps, specialty straps that we're going to need. And I'll do that as a sped up video at the end because we've already seen that process, but you'll see me adding a few extra snaps because I'm very happy with how the snaps are coming out. I want to do that throughout the entire armor so that there's really minimal velcro and minimal variation. It's all going to be pretty much 3-inch straps just about everywhere except in a few odd places, and I'll point those places out. But let's get started with the split rivets. What I've decided I'm going to do here is I've been debating about this back and forth about whether I should do the strap across with the non-elastic, which is the standard method that you use to do this. But if I do that, and I explained this the last time, the abdomen and the back can never be separated. They'll always be permanently connected, and I don't like that. I like to polish the armor, and I like to have them separate. And if I ever have to do a repair, it's going to be very difficult. So I am going to put the split rivets in, but then I'm going to put snap plates right over them at exactly 3 inches, and I'm going to glue those on and just let them sit so that next week, after everything dries fully and everything's ready to go, we can just start doing the strapping and the sizing and making sure that everything fits appropriately. So let's get started on the split rivets. Basically, I'm just going to stick them in. I'm going to put the split rivets in and start doing the process there. And then I'm going to do the one in the cod and make a specialty strap that's going to go to the back. So let me just start putting these on. I'm just going to stick these in. Hopefully they'll fit. If not, I'll make the holes a little bigger. And again, I'm going to put the, just like I did here, I'm going to put 3 snaps here and 3 snaps here. That'll go to straps so that this will be removable if necessary in the future. So I'm putting the split rivets in, I'm putting the washers on. I'm going to need some of the desk here to be able to pound these in. So let me just go like that, and I'm going to start working these a little bit to get them split with the screwdriver, and then I'm going to pound them back the rest of the way with the hammer. Once I get them to be about 45 degrees, I should be able to just pound them in with a hammer. So I'm just going to try to do that as gently as possible, not to scratch the armor as much as possible. And I think this is a much better solution. It leaves me more flexibility in the future, so I think it's the best option right now. And it should look from the outside to be exactly like it should, and that the split rivets are holding the fabric. And I am going to use elastic fabric. I think it's a little more comfortable. It gives me a little more breathing room, and it makes the armor a little easier to wear. This one's really giving me a problem here. It's not really going. I'm going to have to try to hit it with my little tool here. So it looks very good. And these are going to have to be painted. These 3 rivets here on this side are going to have to be painted. And I think it's going to also look good with just the snap plates right over there. Okay, let me do the cod piece because that one's going to be difficult. I'm going to need to use my tool here to punch out holes and make a strap for it as well. So let me get the hole puncher attachment here. I'll get that ready. We have the snap attachment. This one actually already has the hole puncher in there, so it should be good. Let me get out my little tool to get out any other stuff out of there. Last time we used this to do the belt, so there might be some stuff in here I got to get out. Let me just get that out of there. And we have some space in here for it to punch some more holes. Let me use the other one right now and I'll clean that out later. Let me just add this to the tool and I'll clean out the other one. And that one's all clean, so I'll use this one. Okay, so what we're going to need to do is get a strap created that's going to go from the front to the back and connect to those 2 snaps. So I'm going to have to add 2 snaps to this. So let me get my snaps ready. I have a special bag I put aside just for this with the snaps that match. Okay, so we're going to take that 1-inch stretchy fabric and we're going to have to figure out about how long it's got to be. I think it's going to be about 2 inches, but I'm going to see. Okay, now this is going to go like this, and we're going to need a strap that has 2 snaps here, so it's got to connect from here to where we're going to put the rivet, and we need to leave about 2 inches. So let me get my ruler and just see about how much we have to use to make this particular strap. And if it's not the right size, we can make a new one, but I think I'm going to be able to get it pretty accurate. We're going to need about 2 inches between there at the most, which is about there, and then the hole is there. I'm just holding this in place to get approximately where that's going to be. Okay, so we're going to need a length about that long. And I'm going to have to put 2 snaps that are going to snap into the snaps right here, and then put the hole somewhere on the other side there. So let me put this other piece aside. I'll do the split rivets in that one in a second. Let me get my scissor. Okay, and I'm also going to want to fold this over, so I'm going to add another inch or so for a fold over, because I like to fold over the fabric to allow some gripping room for the snaps. Put 2 snaps together. And what I'm going to have to do is punch 2 holes in there, put the snaps there, and then punch another hole about here with a little bit of a fold over for where the split rivet's going to go. So let me punch those holes. I'm going to punch the end one first, do the snap, and then do yet another one directly next to it, and hopefully they'll fit. Let's give that a shot. Okay, so we'll put the snap in there. Again, I like to fold over the fabric. You might have seen me doing that with the other straps I was creating, just because it adds a little more strength and it helps it not pull through the fabric. And it makes it easier to pull these off when you have to snap them and unsnap them. Make sure I get that all the way through. I got it through the first fabric, I didn't get it through the second one yet. There we go. Okay, I'm going to put the head on, and I'm going to use the crimping tool to crimp that down. I'm putting this in the crimping tool and doing the first snap. Make sure we get it lined up here. Okay, the first snap is done. Now I'm just going to test it. Make sure it snaps well, and then I'm going to put the other snap right next to it. I can see where the hole is. I'm just seeing by eye where the line is. It's on that second line, so let me just put my finger there so I know exactly where I have to put the second hole. It's right on this line. I'm going to get my hole puncher and punch a hole right there in line with the other snap. This is going to hold really nicely and hold the front and back together on the bottom. So I want to make sure it's right on that line. Get the first one through and the second one. And then I'm going to line it up one last time and figure out exactly where we're going to put the split rivet. Make sure that's coming through the fabric as cleanly as possible here, because we don't want to get the fabric caught up in the mechanism here itself. Okay, and then we're going to get the crimp tool and crimp that on there. Okay, that crimped really nice. Okay, so these two are going to snap right here. And that's going to really hold nicely. And now we got to figure out exactly where we want to put this. And it's going to be about there. So I'm going to put a hole right there and then put a split rivet through that and pound that down. And again, this is going to be a removable strap so that you can get into the armor and then strap this up to get yourself in there. So let me just fold this over. Find my middle line here and poke a hole. Now the split rivet with this fabric is going to be tough to get it through both levels of fabric here, but we should be able to do it. Okay, so I'm going to take this off of here now and just concentrate on the other one. Put this aside because we're going to need that in a second to do the other split rivets. Get one here and make sure we put it through here and then through the fabric and then the washer. I got that through. We want to make sure that, again, that it's laying this way so that the snaps are facing down. Let me get it through both levels of fabric here. Again, I like to double up the fabric even on the split rivets when I can, just because it adds a little more strength so it doesn't pull out. And there is going to be some tension on this area. Okay, so we got the split rivet through there. We're going to put a washer on it. And then we're going to start working that split rivet and try to get it split on this hard surface here. So let's get our screwdriver. Start working that down as best as we can here. Getting there. I just want to make sure I'm not scratching the armor. I'm going to make sure that just the split rivet is holding on to the bottom here. Okay, the one side we got pretty well. That's looking really good. Just going to twist that around a little bit, and that's not going anywhere. That's going to be in there really well. No scratches here, but we do have to paint that rivet on the bottom. So this is pretty well done. We just have to make sure that we strap that when we get in the armor, make sure that that's strapped in. And one other thing I wanted to point out, I did add 2 other snap plates here. And these were for the legs. Sometimes I use a garter system, but sometimes in an emergency I'll use straps that are right in the armor. So these are just there as backups. And we'll get into that later when we get into the strapping up procedure and how we're going to do that. But for now, let's move on to the other split rivets. We still have 3 more to do on this other piece here. And I got 3 rivets here. And we're going to do the same thing on this one. We're going to just put the split rivets in. And we're going to work on this later and put in the snap plates. I'm going to make some additional snap plates and start working them in here. Put that in here with the washer. And get that on the hard surface here. This one's going to be a little more difficult because this is a very curved piece of plastic, so I'm going to have to bend this down a little bit to get it to hit the table. I might actually have to use that that block I was using the other day, if I can find it, because this is way off the desk here. Let me see if I can push that down, just so I get a nice clean surface here. Because I want these to be nice and tight. using a lot of pressure there. Let me make sure. I'm going to have to just push that down as much as I can to get it flat. Let me do this end one. It's pretty easy because it's right on the edge here. That's in there real good. Do this next one again. I'm pushing down on it just to make sure it's flat as I push on this. And that's split real nice, and it's nice and tight. I'm going to do the last one and be very careful again. Try not to scratch anything as I do this. Okay, we got those on well. No real scratches there, so that looks good. And again, I'm going to cover this right up with those snap plates. Make sure they're as flush as possible. And the snap plates will hide these anyway. Okay, very nice. We'll put the snap plates right over them, or right next to them, and move from there. Okay, the next thing we have to tackle is working on the strapping system for the shoulders and the back. And what I want to do here is leave about 2 inches in between the two pieces. Which, if we look here, let me just make sure that's about right. That's about 2 inches there. So at about the third rung here, I want this to sit like this. And as I already had shown you, what I'd done is put snap plates behind here in these two places. Now, there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can use an elastic strap and then put a cross strap that's going to connect to the bells. So the bells with that snap plate will connect like this. And we're going to do something like that, but what I'm going to try, and I've never tried this before, is I want to use sewable velcro in that spot. And I got some sewable velcro. And what I'd like to do is make a strap out of the sewable velcro that'll attach to there, attach to here, reach across, and then attach to here. And what I want to do is leave enough slack that it could actually connect with the top shoulder strap like this, and then have a snap plate built right in there that's going to connect to the belt. It's going to be a little complicated, but I think I can pull it off, and that way I'm also going to be able to put some fabric velcro on the shoulder strap on the inside that this will connect to keep this all flush and keep it like a little sandwich together. It'll hide the snap plate that's here. It'll also provide a little more support and a little more strength to this shoulder strap, which is sometimes a problematic point that breaks. It'll also allow me to be able to remove this and be able to get in and out of the armor on one of the sides, and I want to make sure that that's going to be critical so I can get the armor on and off. So what I'm going to do is just size this up, and I'm going to make 2 identical straps with this hitting about the third rung. And I'm going to start the strap here, have it come straight across here, and then it's going to end right about here. So just with my fingers, I'm going to make a mark here where I'm going to cut this. And with this is very strong fabric, so I don't think I'm going to have to reinforce it or double it. I think I'll just be able to use it straight. So I'm going to make 2 identical straps. One for the left side, one for the right side out of this material. The only thing I want to make sure of is where I'm going to make the holes to put the snaps. I want to make sure it's exactly right. And then we're going to cut some loop velcro. They call it, this is the hook side. We're going to cut some of the loop velcro, the sticky type, and again put that on the inside of the shoulder strap. So let's see where this is going to land exactly, and I'll make marks with a Sharpie for where I'm going to put the holes for the snaps. I'm just going to hold this in place, make sure it's lined up. I'm going to have four of these little ridges here. I'm going to line this up as best as I can and see where this strap is going to land. And I want it to curve to that shape. Okay, so let me get my pen here so I can make a hole exactly where the snap is on both sides. Hello everyone again. This is Chris Feehan from the ECG Armory. For some reason my video had cut out during this last session. So what I'm going to do here is just do some more snap plates and straps and just make that a speed up video as I continue on doing the work I was doing. I don't know if we caught the part with the helmet. I'll review that next time to just show you what I was doing with some posts and some things for the lenses. Anyway, let's continue on. I'm going to do some more straps and snap plates and then start attaching them to the places I need to attach them in the abdomen and the back plate. Thanks everybody.